The first time I climbed back onto Shadow, my heart was pounding. Would I be able to do it? Would the fear and pain overwhelm me? But as I settled into the saddle and felt the familiar rhythm of his movements beneath me, all my doubts melted away. I was back where I belonged. Riding again was a triumphant return to the life I loved. I participated in local competitions not to win, but to prove to myself that I could. Each ride, each jump, was a testament to the power of the mind and the strength of the human spirit. My parents, friends, and even my doctors were amazed at my recovery. My aunt, who had introduced me to the concept of manifestation, was my biggest supporter. "I always knew you had it in you, Elya," she said, her eyes shining with pride. My journey taught me invaluable lessons about resilience, belief, and the power of the mind. I began to share my story with others, hoping to inspire those facing their own challenges. Whether it was through local support groups, online forums, or simply talking to friends, I wanted to spread the message that we have the power to shape our reality with our thoughts and beliefs. Life after the accident was different, but in many ways it was richer and more meaningful. I appreciated every ride, every step, and every moment in a way I never had before. The bond with Shadow grew even stronger, as if he understood the struggle I had been through to be with him again. One sunny afternoon, as I rode Shadow along our favorite trail, I reflected on how far I had come. The journey had been long and painful, but it had also been filled with incredible growth and discovery. I had learned that the mind is a powerful tool, capable of shaping our reality in ways we might never have imagined. My name is Elya, and this is my story of overcoming adversity through the power of belief and manifestation. It's a story of hope, resilience, and the unbreakable bond between a girl and her horse. And as I rode into the sunset, the wind in my hair and the world at my feet, I knew that anything was possible if I believed it with all my heart. The scent of hay and the gentle sounds of horses shifting in their stalls always felt like home to me. Growing up on a ranch, I had always been surrounded by animals, and horses held a special place in my heart. I had been riding since I could walk, and the bond one shared with my horse Shadow was something magical. Riding was more than a hobby. It was a part of who I was. One summer afternoon, I decided to take Shadow out for a ride along our favorite trail. The sky was clear, the sun warm on my skin, and the world seemed perfect. As we galloped along the familiar path, I felt a rush of exhilaration and freedom. Shadow's powerful strides matched the rhythm of my heartbeats, and I felt invincible. But in an instant, everything changed. As we rounded a corner, a rabbit darted out from the bushes, startling Shadow. He reared up, and before I could react, I was thrown from the saddle. The fall seemed to happen in slow motion, the ground rushing up to meet me. I hit the dirt hard, a sharp, excruciating pain shooting through my leg. I screamed, clutching my leg, unable to move. The next few hours were a blur of panic and pain. My parents found me and rushed me to the hospital, where the doctors confirmed my worst fear. I had broken my leg in multiple places. The doctor's face was grim as he delivered the news. "Elya, this is a severe injury. The bones are shattered, and it's going to be a long, difficult recovery. I'm afraid there's a chance you might not regain full use of your leg." His words were like a punch to the gut. Riding was everything to me. The thought of never being able to ride again was unbearable. But as I lay there, tears streaming down my face, something inside me refused to accept his prognosis. I couldn't give up. I wouldn't give up. The weeks that followed were some of the hardest of my life. The pain was relentless, and the frustration of being confined to a bed or a wheelchair was overwhelming. Physical therapy was grueling. Each session a painful reminder of how far I had to go. But in those dark moments, I remembered a book my aunt had given me about the power of the mind and the practice of manifestation. She had always been a firm believer in the ability of the mind to heal the body, and I clung to her words like a lifeline. Every day I visualized myself writing again. I saw myself mounting shadow, feeling the familiar weight of the reins in my hands, the wind in my hair. I imagined the sensation of galloping across the fields, free and unencumbered. I repeated positive affirmations to myself. I am healing. My leg is getting stronger every day. I will ride again. At first it felt strange and almost pointless. The pain in my leg was so intense that it was hard to believe anything could change. But as the days turned into weeks, I began to notice small improvements. I could move my toes a little more, and the pain seemed to lessen, if only by a fraction. Each tiny progress was a victory, and it fueled my determination. My physical therapist, Laura, noticed the change in me. "You've got a fire in you, Elya," she said one day as I pushed myself to complete another set of exercises. "I've seen patients with less severe injuries give up, but you're different. Keep that fire burning." Her encouragement meant the world to me. I threw myself into my physical therapy with renewed vigor, and I continued my daily practice of visualization and affirmations. I read more about the power of the mind, learning about athletes who had used these techniques to recover from injuries and achieve their goals. Their stories inspired me, and I began to believe that maybe, just maybe, I could be one of those stories too. Months passed, and slowly but surely I made progress. The day I took my first steps without crutches was a milestone I'll never forget. My leg was still weak and the steps were shaky, but I was walking. I was defying the odds. My doctor was astonished. "I've never seen anything like this," he admitted. "Your recovery is nothing short of miraculous." But I knew it wasn't a miracle. It was the result of relentless determination, hard work, and the power of belief. As the months turned into a year, I continued to regain strength and mobility. My leg would never be the same as it was before the accident, but I was walking, running, and most importantly, I was riding again. The sunset painted the sky in hues of orange and pink, casting a warm glow over the landscape. Shadow's steady gait beneath me felt like a comforting heartbeat, a rhythm that had been restored through sheer willpower and unwavering faith. Each ride was a reaffirmation of the journey I had undertaken, the battles I had fought, and the triumphs I had achieved. Back at the ranch, life had resumed its regular patterns, but there was a subtle shift in the way I approached each day. Every morning I took a moment to sit quietly, visualize the goals I wanted to achieve, and repeat my affirmations. I am strong. I am resilient. I create my own reality. These words had become my mantra, a source of strength that I carried with me into everything I did. My recovery had not gone unnoticed in our small community. Friends and neighbors who had once been skeptical about my chances of riding again were now filled with admiration and curiosity. They wanted to know how I had managed to defy the odds, to turn what seemed like an insurmountable setback into a story of hope and perseverance. I was more than happy to share my experiences, to talk about the power of manifestation and the importance of a positive mindset. One day, a local school invited me to speak to a group of students. Standing in front of them, I felt a mixture of nervousness and excitement. I shared my story, not just the physical aspects of my recovery, but the mental and emotional journey as well. I talked about the dark days when giving up seemed easier, about the moments of doubt and fear, and about the unwavering belief that had kept me going. The students listened intently, their faces reflecting a mix of empathy and inspiration. After my talk, a young girl approached me. She had been struggling with her own challenges, and my story had given her hope. "Thank you, Elya," she said, her eyes shining with determination. "If you can overcome something so big, maybe I can too." Her words touched me deeply. It was moments like these that reinforced my belief in the power of sharing our stories. We never know who might be listening, who might need that extra push to keep going. I continued to speak at local events, support groups, and online communities, spreading the message of resilience and the transformative power of the mind. As my story spread, I was invited to participate in a documentary about people who had overcome significant challenges through unconventional means. The documentary aimed to showcase the power of belief, manifestation, and positive thinking. Being part of this project was both humbling and exhilarating. I met incredible individuals who had their own inspiring stories of triumph against the odds. Their journeys reinforced my own beliefs and provided new perspectives on the limitless potential of the human spirit. The documentary aired nationwide, and the response was overwhelming. I received messages from people all over the country, sharing their own stories of struggle and resilience, thanking me for inspiring them to keep fighting. Some were dealing with physical injuries like mine, while others faced emotional or mental challenges. The common thread was the power of belief and the refusal to give up. As I continued to ride and compete, my reputation as a resilient rider grew. I started receiving invitations to participate in larger competitions and events. Each one was an opportunity to prove to myself and others that my recovery was not just a fluke, but a testament to the power of the mind and the strength of the human spirit. I rode with a sense of purpose, knowing that every jump, every gallop, was a victory over the doubts and fears that had once threatened to consume me. Through my journey, I also developed a deeper appreciation for the support system that had surrounded me. My family, friends, and the community had played an invaluable role in my recovery. Their belief in me had bolstered my own. Their encouragement had kept me going during the darkest times. I made it a point to express my gratitude, to let them know how much their support meant to me. My aunt, who had introduced me to the concept of manifestation, was especially proud. We often talked about the power of the mind and the incredible potential that lies within each of us. She continued to inspire me with her own positive outlook on life and her unwavering belief in the power of the human spirit. As the years went by, I continued to ride, compete, and share my story. My experiences had not only transformed my own life, but had also touched the lives of many others. I started a foundation to support individuals facing physical and emotional challenges, providing resources and encouragement to help them harness the power of their minds and achieve their goals. The foundation became a source of hope and inspiration for many, a way for me to give back and make a difference in the lives of others. One sunny afternoon, as I rode shadow along our favorite trail, I reflected on the incredible journey I had been on. The road to recovery had been long and arduous, But it had also been filled with growth, discovery, and countless moments of joy. I had learned that the mind is a powerful tool, capable of shaping our reality in ways we might never have imagined. My journey was a testament to the power of belief, the importance of resilience, and the strength of the human spirit. My name is Elya, and my story is one of overcoming adversity through the power of belief and manifestation. It's a story of hope, resilience, and the unbreakable bond between a girl and her horse. And as I rode into the sunset, the wind in my hair and the world at my feet, I knew that anything was possible if I believed it with all my heart.